My books show $100 in the past year.
Really? Well, why don't you try something else? Why waste time modeling?
What, for instance?
Oh, why don't you marry me, Sandra? You know I love you. I've always loved you.
Why don't you give me a job?
As what?
An assistant.
So, you know, I believe you've got something there. I'd like that.
Good. When do we start rehearsal?
Right now.
Now? Oh, this is so sudden.
Oh, there's a lot to learn. It takes several months of hard work.
I don't mind.
You know, I've got several new ideas for next season, but I haven't decided on anything definite.
We could do a hypnotist act. I could be a stooge.
Hey, Cartier, come on to the kitchen. The big championship fight's on tonight. You want to listen? The preliminaries are on.
Okay, just a minute. We're busy.
We can sure see that.
Sandra, have you ever been hypnotized?
Never. Why?
Well, it would make a terrific act.
Well, how do you know you can hypnotize me?
I could try.
Okay, try it.
All right. Here's a ring. Now, you gaze into it. Don't look away. Just keep gazing. You're going to sleep. The ring. You're getting drowsy. You can hear no sound but my voice. Repeat what I say.
I am going to sleep. I am getting drowsy. I can hear no sound but your voice.
No sound but my voice. Take this pad and pencil. Write. Jerry is a simpleton. Now. Wake up. Sandra.
Huh? What? Oh, how do you know you can?
Can what?
Hypnotize me.
I've just done it. Isn't this your writing?
Well, yes, but I didn't write
Oh,
this.
but you did. You did. I saw you, and very good. Say.
But I wouldn't write anything like this.
Wait. Let's try it again. Here, look in the light. Sleep. Sleep. My voice. My voice. You can only hear my voice. You're now asleep. Do you see Madison Square Garden? There's a fight going on. What round is it?
2.
If one man falls, tell me.
1 falls.
Which one? Where are your cats?
Cats, they hold up the other's hand.
Sandra, wake up. Wake up.
Oh. What did I do?
Oh, nothing very important. Come with me, Ladies and gentlemen, quiet. Quiet, please. I wish to make an announcement.
Oh, go ahead and make it.
From this day on, the act of Cartier the Great shall be billed as Cartier and Sandra. Yes, I've discovered a new partner. She is clairvoyant to the nth degree. I shall develop my new hypnotism act, and Sandra is to be my assistant. All right. Okay. Come here, Sandra. Take this ring. Sit down. I'm going to show you, pighead, something. Now, all right, now, Jerry, now, I don't know who you've invited here tonight, and if I did, there's no way about telling who will walk in the door next. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hypnotize Sandra, and she's going to describe the one who'll enter next. All right, now, quiet. Wait a minute. Quiet, please. Sandra, sleep. Sleep. Drowsy. Looking to the future. Tell us, Sandra, describe the person who will enter that door next. Speak.
A man. A small, thin man. Curly hair. A slight mustache. Eyes close together. Sunken chest. And he walks with a slight limp.
Hey, that's Georgie.
Georgie Welton.
Yeah, he's coming tonight. That's him exactly.
Did you say Georgie Welton?
Sure. You know him.
Yes, I know him.
Man.
She's saying something else.
Man. Oh, there's something wrong with him. He's in danger. In trouble. Yes, he doesn't know it. But he's approaching something terrible.
Sandra, wake up. Wake up.
Oh, what happened this time? What did I say? Well, why is everybody staring at me so strangely?
Oh, it's Georgie. For the love of Mike, where you been?
I've been
Pissy.
Sandra was right. She guessed it. It was you.
Hey, what was me?
Oh, she sure hit
Oh,
it.
it is uncanny. How do you do it, Sandra?
What are you talking about?
That's what I want to know. Oh, nothing, Georgie. Forget it. Go on out into the kitchen. Help yourself. Anything you want.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, what's out here?
Hello, Georgie.
Connie,
What's the matter, Georgie? You look a bit pale.
what are you doing here?
Waiting for you, Georgie. Where you been hiding?
What do you want?
I want to make a little deal about that check I gave you. I'd like to get it squared up.
What kind of
Well,
game?
it's a little short of cash right now, and I knew you could use some, so I thought I might give you this ring. It's worth a couple of thousand. Be a good deal. How about it?
Well, you see, I ain't got the check no more.
Where is it?
I sold it. Grover.
Why'd you do that?
I needed the dough.
Well, you can get it back and still have some left.
Yeah, I could only.
What's the matter with you?
Ain't you heard?
Heard what?
Goldberg's dead.
Dead.
And he just seen him in his office. Say he committed suicide.
What do you know? Poor old Grover. I guess you got to be cool.
Yeah. Sick. Kind of dizzy.
It's pretty hot tonight. Come on over to the window. The air will help you. Here, drink. This.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Now, about this check. I'd like to have it. Take a look at this ring. This ring would make it more than worth your efforts in getting that check into my hands. You understand? I don't want anything like that hanging over me when I can possibly avoid it.
Everybody happy? That's him. That's Ralph.
Oh, my football hero.
Ralph, where have you been?
Well, I got delayed over in Jersey. Hi, gang.
You know everybody.
Yeah, sure. Say, has the fight started yet? I got to hear that.
Oh, it's on now. Radio's in the bedroom. First round's just over.
Yeah, well, I'm betting kind of heavy on cats. Say, anybody want to bet? I'm offering 10 to 1.
How much you say you were offering?
10 to 1.
I'll take some of that.
Okay. How much?
Oh, I've got 200 to put on Murray.
Well, now, that's a bet. Are you sure you can spare it?
I'm worrying about you.
Don't worry about me. No, sir. Well, turn it up. I want to hear it.
They come into the ring dancing. There goes Cat. She's a little groggy after that last one, but she's working hard now. There. Cat lands the left of the jaw. A right, a left, onto the... Oh, a hard left to Murray's stomach. And Murray looks a little tired, but he's in there punching. Yes, he's in there. Yes, oh, he landed a left to Cat.
ultimatesalesmachine.com/book. Our clients call it the chapter that changes lives. Get your proven roadmap to doubling sales at ultimatesalesmachine.com/book.
And now, all of the news you would probably miss. It's time for Dana's Quick Five, brought to you by Caltech.
All right, so first up, a Missouri man was forced to pay a $400 fine for having too many sunflowers in his yard because it violated the city's turf to flower ratio. Okay, and this is in St. Peter's. Do they have done things like that in St. Peter's? He appeared in
HOA?
He appeared in court. I mean, he's like going to court for this. On October 11th, this is a year after he first, I guess, appeared for violating the city's turf to flower ratio in 21. He's appealing the judge's decision. He has 62 different types of flowers. So he also violated another city of St. Peter's law. So it doesn't sound like it's HOA by having a fence in his front yard. And oh my gosh, this is so goofy. Well, I don't like HOAs, and I think this is particularly dumb. You have someone citing somebody for having sunflowers in their front yard? I don't know. Stop it. Just stop it. Golly. And then, oh, this is bad. This is Local 10 News. This story, inspector sees a rodent walking on the grill during an inspection at a Denny's, and there were roaches too. This happened to be Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation in South Florida. They said it was a Denny's that, what's up Denny's? Rodent activity present by evidence of rodent droppings found. They observed approximately 50. Oh my, I can't even read it. Can I not talk about this story? Because I am going to be sick all over this microphone. Can I not? But he was there. This health inspector was there. And he sees a rat walk across the grill at the Denny's. How bad is that? We need John Taffer in there is what we need. John Taffer to go up in there and be like, we need to change this concept. We need that. Oh my gosh. Also, a couple of other things here. Make sure that we hit. We're going to get into this a little bit later. I've seen this a lot. This story, Justice Department raises concern about armed people at Arizona ballot boxes. Now, you can be lawfully armed, and you can be away from a ballot box, and you can monitor polling places. There's nothing, and then people can be and volunteer and monitor polling places. You can't bring arms in to polling places to vote. But what gets me is that all of the people who are freaking out about this is an Associated Press story. There's not a single one of these individuals that were freaking out over the new Black Panther Party, wielding batons and bats and stuff, intimidating people at ballot boxes and polling spaces back during, what was it, the 2008 election, I believe? May have been something like, I think it was 2008. So there you have it. We also said that the Federal Reserve had already issued their statement too. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow. But they have issued their statement on their numbers. They are increasing. They've raised the rates again, raised rates by 75 basis points for fourth straight meeting. So now 4 75 basis point rate hikes in a row. That's unprecedented since they specifically started doing this, targeting the federal funds rate to kind of conduct monetary policy. So we have a lot more on the way. Stick with us.
Quick Five is brought to you by Caltech. Innovation, quality, performance.
I hear more and more about the incredible work of emotional support dogs, but frankly, I think to one degree or another, all dogs are emotional support dogs for all of their owners. And I think that's why God created them. They're just the best people. Trust me, I am emotionally supported by my dog Rocco. And naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, the founder of Rough Greens, knows that. He also knows it's our responsibility to do whatever we can to help our furry family members feel better, especially if they're struggling with achy joints, low energy, poor digestion, or even bad breath. All of these symptoms are telling you that there's something wrong. Rough Greens is the simplest, easiest, and smartest way to help your dog get back on track. Visit roughgreens.com for a free jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens. Simply cover the shipping, get the vitamins, minerals, probiotics, digestive enzymes, omega oils, and antioxidants that your dog needs for better health. Order your free jumpstart trial bag at roughgreens.com. That's RUFF greens.com.
Warm numbers for the midweek forecast. Looks like the rain's kind of pull on through, and then south winds Wednesday and Thursday up into the 80s here across the northern parishes. Just a few degrees away from tying some daily records. Next chance for rain comes in Friday with a Pacific front, bringing some 1.5 inch rains and thunderstorms Friday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the weather.
Save 50% today through November 5th at Louisiana Coin and Jewelry. Save on a select group of fine jewelry, gold, diamonds, rings, necklaces, and more. Shop ahead for birthdays, anniversaries, even Christmas, especially at savings of 50%. All remaining Kendra Scott jewelry is buy one, get one free. Save 50% at Louisiana Coin and Jewelry in Shreveport, on Line Avenue in the Uptown Shopping Center. In-store only, hurry for the best selection. Kendra Scott BOGO of equal or lesser value.
A prepaid plan for your celebration of life can give you and your loved ones peace of mind today. But what if you move tomorrow? With us, you're protected. If you move more than 75 miles away, every detail of your prepaid plan moves with you to any one of over 1,900 locations in North America, guaranteed. That's a promise you'll find nowhere else. We're your local Dignity Memorial provider. Find us at dignitymemorial.com.
The season's sweetest tradition started at Omni Hotels and Resorts. From artisanal hot chocolate to miles of glittering lights, holidays at Omni are illuminated by nostalgia and warmth. Celebrate the season together at over 50 destinations. Book now at omnihotels.com/holiday.
It's Macy's one-day sale with great deals of the day, like 30 to 50% off boots and shoes she'll love, 50 to 60% off cozy pajamas for the whole family, and 50 to 60% off holiday dining and entertaining essentials. Plus, Star Rewards members earn even faster 3-Star Money bonus days, starting tomorrow at Macy's and Market by Macy's. See Macy's.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply. Your moment of peace and quiet. Brought to you by MottoMortgage.com.
Each office in the Motto Mortgage Network is independently owned, operated, and licensed.
Coughing, sniffling, congested. Get relief support for your cough and cold symptoms at CVS. Visit us in-store or shop online at CVS.com and use CVS Pickup. For details, see CVS.com/weekly ad.
Why does Comcast Business power more businesses than any other provider? It has technology solutions that put you ahead, like the fastest, reliable network and serious savings. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get internet, security, and voice for just $40 per month for 12 months when you add mobile. Ends 11/6/2022. Restrictions apply. Requires EcoBill and autopay. New Comcast Business 250 megabit per second internet, security edge, and one voice line customers only. 2-year agreement required. Equipment taxes and other fees extra and subject to change.
It's pro time because at Lowe's, it's Provember. Save big with inventory you can count on, like Flex products or DeWalt power tools starting at just $99. Plus, Lowe's MVPs members earn up to 3 times bonus points per dollar on select items. Save all Provember long. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. MVP's Pro Rewards Program. Terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty Terms. Subject to change. Prices valid from 10/17/22 to 2/3/23 or until supplies last.
Big decisions require research. So if your teenager is considering a decision as big as joining the military, they're doing their homework. You can too, by visiting todaysmilitary.com, because their success tomorrow begins with your support today.
Provember is back at Lowe's. Find specialty tools for every trade from Lennox, like the 13-piece bimetal armored hole saw set the 9-in-1 multi-bit screwdriver set, and the Power Blast Technology 12-piece reciprocating saw blade set. Once you get your hands on Lennox, you won't want to let go. We have the quantities you need to help you get the job done this Provember. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, selection varies by location.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
You want local news and information? You've come to the right place.
Shreveport-Bossier residents are lucky to have Mike and McCartney each morning right here on Kiel.
The home of Mike and McCartney in the morning. 101.7 FM and 710 Kiel.
The Kiel app is brought to you by Office Furniture Source. Download the app today. Kiel.
Your one-stop shop for the information you need to fight back. If you're going to have to learn stuff, you might as well enjoy it. The Dana Show.
And you hear a lot in America, people worried about our democracy, worried about threats to our democracy. I happen to think the biggest threat to American democracy today is big technology companies in bed with the communist Chinese who are censoring information about American politics. And this is really, really important because, look, Facebook, Twitter, all these companies are now the digital public square. If those companies, which some of them have financial stakes in communist China, if those companies are censoring information in a way that helps one political party or hurts another political party, I don't care if it's my political party being helped or hurt. I don't want these companies interfering in our elections, and I think that happened in 2020.
Yeah, though that's true. That's J.D. Vance who is speaking. They had the, in Ohio there, they had another, it was like a town hall kind of debate that he had. Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash here with you. It's not going to be a town hall kind of debate tonight when the president speaks. What time is it? 6 Central, I think, is when he speaks, 7 Eastern. Man. And this is like his attempt to save the Senate here. And they've been, I'm going to play this, because this kind of dovetails in with this, if you could play that. Karine Jean-Pierre was asked today about the Biden administration's work with these social media companies to censor information that they dislike as misinformation. And this comes out after there was this big piece from The Intercept showing this. Listen to when she was asked. Listen to what she says.
There was reporting in The Intercept about opportunities for the federal government to identify for social media companies different posts that contained what was perceived as misinformation about the origins of COVID, the vaccine, other things as well, such as Ukraine or the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Yeah, look, I'll say this: the administration, the Biden administration, remains fully committed to our mission to protect the security and resilience of our elections and safeguard election infrastructure. That includes combating disinformation. That is something that we are committed to. We work to protect that, protect Americans from disinformation that threatens the homeland, including malicious efforts spread by foreign adversaries.
Really?
Began before the Disinformation Governance Board was established. In fact, some of that work began before this administration. So, I want to be very clear that cross-agency work continues to this day.
This is Mott Bailey. This is what happens when you have someone who they're trying to conflate two positions. This is exactly what she's doing here. So the story that is being cited in The Intercept was the story about Department of Homeland Security working with Facebook and Twitter, etc., to get them to control speech on everything from the exit in Afghanistan to masks to people's opinions on injections. This didn't have anything to do with the national security that she's talking about. So she's saying She's trying to conflate the positions and say, no, what we're, this is, it's about, foreign actors, foreign entities, using social media as a way to engage in psyops, et cetera, et cetera. So she's conflating two positions, and she's trying to defend the easier one while not addressing the more controversial position, which is what they were doing. She's doing, this is classic Ma Bailey. This is exactly what she's doing. This is not this, it's not the same thing. That's not what The Intercept was talking about. And furthermore, that is not what the whole, that's not what the article was about. That's not what the article was about, and that's not what they were doing. That's wasn't what the Facebook portal was about. If you shared something that DHS didn't like about injections or about masks or anything of that nature, that was suppressed or eliminated outright. We're not doing this. Not doing this. And when they sit here and get into election denying, as other people have noted, and by the way, I wanted to play this too. This is all just coming in from their presser today, or from the press avail today. Peter Ducey, this is some Ducey time. He asks a very interesting question as to what would happen if they did lose midterms. Listen to this.
Problem. The president has always condemned political violence. It doesn't matter, again, if you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat.
So President Biden thinks democracy can survive even if Democrats are not in charge of Congress.
The president is optimistic. He is an optimistic, you know this, Peter. He is an optimistic person. And he understands there is majority of the Americans out there who do not believe in election and denying an election, who believe in actually protecting our democracy. There are a majority of Americans who believe in
Does this apply to her? Because there are her tweets that have absolutely surfaced where she said that Trump didn't win. But what about Joe Biden, who also said, no, Trump didn't win. But then he also, 2013, June 12th, Yahoo News, when he was vice president, he was in Massachusetts campaigning for Ed Markey, and he made comments on a Tuesday night, and he was saying that Al Gore won the election. That's exactly what he said. He said Al Gore was elected president. But for the good of the nation, he said he did the right thing for the nation. Wow. So wait, is denying an election, and granted, there were some people on the right who denied an election. What's weird is that Trump said he lost. I don't know why they keep acting like he never said this. He's publicly said this. But Democrats have for such a long time they've questioned. Not just questioned, they've outright denied, whether it's Stacey Abrams in Georgia, whether it was Hillary Clinton or Karine Jean-Pierre or Joe Biden for 2020. Or for 2016, whether it was for Bush back in 2000. So Democrats, ever since 2000, Democrats believe every election they don't win it means that it was stolen from them. That's how they've operated. That's how they've handled all of this. And now he's going to be giving an address tonight where he's going to use Paul Pelosi as the launch pad to make an attack on half of the country and try to distract everybody from how expensive everything is, the cost of gas, everything else. And he's going to try to act like, oh, well, it's, great threat to democracy are all the people who disagree with you. Ultimately, that's what he's saying. Meanwhile, Washington Post asks, where the hell were the Capitol Police? They had cameras outside and they weren't monitoring the cameras. That's kind of weird, right? They're going to go after WAPO? See, that gets into that point, just to reference it one more time. The media critic WAPO's media critic had said yesterday, and I had included this in a piece that I sent out yesterday for subscribers, that they were afraid to criticize some of the crazy ideas on the left because they didn't want to lose their jobs. They're too terrified to write biased pieces or unbiased pieces. You saw what happened to Dasha Burns, right? Dasha Burns did an interview with John Fetterman, and she asked him basic questions. This wasn't a hard interview. This was not an investigative interview. It was a regular interview where basic questions were asked. I mean, where do you stand on this? What is your opinion of this policy? She didn't, she didn't do gotcha or anything. She asked basic, honestly, you could say they were softball. But he, even before he had a stroke, Fetterman is completely not up to the task of answering these questions. He's a man who's hasn't worked a day in his life. He got an allowance from his parents, so he didn't have to work until he was in his 50s. He didn't even buy his bougie penthouse that he lives in. Oh, he gave his sister $1 for it, so he could say that for $1. Shut up. And he wants to act like he's the everyman. All these stories are coming out about how badly he left Braddock after he was mayor. The city council, which are Democrats, even turned against him because he was so bad. He abused the police department when he was mayor. He didn't even show up to the city council meetings over half of the time. I mean, oh my gosh. She just asked him. She didn't even get into the hard stuff. And then you had his wife out there. What's her face? Giselle Pools our racist Fetterman, or swimming as racist Fetterman, who wanted Dasha Burns' head. She wanted her fired and punished somehow, which is insane. Ultimate Karen there, Giselle. That's what you are. Good grief. Could I speak to the manager? Swimming's racist. So this is if you even so much as ask a balanced question, you're attacked. That's it. Now listen to this. The Post Politics from the Washington Post. This is what they're saying. They're trying to get ahead of this because everyone's like, okay, if you're going to use the Paul Pelosi thing as the launch pad to impugn the character of half the nation, then maybe, I don't know, maybe you should release more information. And here comes Washington Post Politics. Quote, release the video is mostly a way to extend the conspiracy theory. Oh my gosh, what? Facts is conspiracy. That's literally the article. Came because I know you're not gonna believe me. I just put it in Slack for you. Yeah, it is. Release the video is mostly a way to extend the conspiracy theory.
Not releasing the video is a way to extend the conspiracy theory. Releasing the video would put that all to bed. Would put conspiracy theories all to bed if they truly are telling us the truth about this. Releasing the actual video footage would quell all of that.
That's your, I mean, wait, it's, whose fault is it? It's MAGA. It's MAGA extreme. Can we please have the proof of that? No, that's a conspiracy theory. Wait a minute, what? It's all your fault. Wait, can you prove that it's all our fault? No. Can we have some evidence? That's a conspiracy. Really? You're blaming half the country. Prove it. First off, I'm being totally rhetorical. The dude had a BLM flag when he lived with his, what was it? Was it ABC or Politico who said, pedophile lover? I don't know. Ooh, there's like all kinds of nasty. So, oh man. So, you have to accept, so as one listener said, you have to accept the fact that it was totally a MAGA ninja that did this. And if you don't, and if you don't and you question it, you are a conspiracy theorist. Wow. Okay. So they won't release the camera, they won't release the cam footage, they won't release anything else. You're supposed to believe it though. Nope, not gonna happen. Man, this is gonna be a very interesting speech tonight. I know we gotta get moving. Let's do that. Oh man, now I'm mad. I was like in a pretty good mood, now I'm not. As we get moving, folks, our friends over at Patriot Mobile, it is the only Christian conservative cell phone service in the country. And Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines, helping to fight for values, empowering parents who are taking over their school boards and fighting for their kids against the Marxist CRT, critical race theory. And they're also standing up for your rights. They have the same nationwide coverage as all of the major carriers and affordable plans too. Single plans, family plans, business plans of all sizes, and special discounts for veterans and first responders. They have a 100% U.S.-based customer support team, so you're not only helping to create U.S.-based jobs, but you're maintaining what they've got. So join the movement. Make the switch today. Save some money and get free activation using code Dana on top of it. PatriotMobile.com/Dana or call 972-PATRIOT. And again, use offer code Dana to get free activation. That's PatriotMobile.com/Dana, 972-PATRIOT. I want to talk to you about Heather in Louisiana. Heather writes in to discuss her experience with Relief Factor. She says that she loves Relief Factor and knows the difference when she doesn't use it. She says she's been a loyal customer for the last 2 years and tells everyone about it. She shared her packets with a fellow police officer so he could try them. She said she loves working out and always talks about ways to stay pain-free. And thank you for the wonderful product. Well, Heather, thanks for helping to keep the streets safe. And like Heather, my husband Chris takes Relief Factor, and you too can be pain-free. Your first step is to order the 3-week quick start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. And after trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it out for yourself and see what all of these people are talking about. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor. Delta Rescue doesn't just need donations when times are good. They continuously need help, especially when times are tough economically, like now. Delta Rescue is the world's largest no-kill and right-to-life animal sanctuary, and they cannot scale back their work just because the cost of goods and services has gone up. That's why they need your help now more than ever. Your donation will help feed and care for up to 1,500 dogs, cats, and horses, and help keep the full-time animal hospital on the property going. Even small donations matter and go a long way in continuing the work of Delta Rescue. By being a part of Delta's mission, you become the difference between life and death for so many animals. Join me today in becoming a member of Delta's rescue team with your donation. Start helping with a visit to deltarescue.org/Dana and press the green donate button. Please give as much as your heart tells you to. That's deltarescue.org/Dana. deltarescue.org/Dana.
Save 50% today through November 5th at Louisiana Coin and Jewelry. Save on a select group of fine jewelry, gold, diamonds, rings, necklaces, and more. Shop ahead for birthdays, anniversaries, even Christmas, especially at savings of 50%. All remaining Kendra Scott jewelry is buy one, get one free. Save 50% at Louisiana Coin and Jewelry in Shreveport, on Line Avenue in the Uptown Shopping Center. In-store only, hurry for the best selection. Kendra Scott BOGO of equal or lesser value.
Preparing for what comes next is a big part of becoming an adult. So, if your teenager says they want to join the military, they're preparing for a real challenge. Visit todaysmilitary.com, because their success tomorrow begins with your support today.
As a parent or mentor, you have the awesome opportunity to help a young person build a future. So if the future they want is in the military, take the time to learn more at todaysmilitary.com, because their success tomorrow begins with your support today.
When all is said and done, here's 3 things to remember. 1. Only Tim Michaels would ban abortion in cases of rape or incest. 2. Only Tim Michaels said gay people shouldn't leave their homes. 3. Only Michaels ran a company where women say they were pressured to have sex with their bosses. The only one with a radical agenda like that is Tim Michaels. And the only one who can stop it is you. Paid for by Alliance for Common Sense.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country, offering over 250 engaging programs online. GCU integrates the free market system and its welcoming Christian worldview perspective into its academic programs and throughout its online campus. GCU's online students received over $144 million in scholarships in 2021. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Kennedy's here. Weekdays 2 till 5 on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
Hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
Listen to The Dana Show live on the Odyssey app. Weekdays noon to 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around how asking for any kind of fact on any kind of story is conspiracy theorist, as per the Washington Post. Welcome back to the program. Dana Lash here with you. And I mean, I am going to eat someone's soul for even like this one guy. What, do you really believe this theory? What theory, Blockhead? What theory are you talking about? I'm asking a question. What theory? Golly, you know why? That's it. Just of all the things, gonna sit here and legalize needles and everything else, but not just simple assault for some people. Just sad. It's so dumb. This is all. If you're going to use this incident as the launch pad to blame half of the country for violence, then you need to provide evidence. That's what problem do you have with that? Or anybody?
We've seen it time and time again where even police departments will end up releasing footage ahead of time because the narrative is getting so false and out of control. They have to release the body cam evidence or the video evidence they have that proves that the narrative is false. And that's all they have to do in this case. Instead, they're refusing to do it.
No, they are absolutely refusing to do it. I mean, I think that we're, like a listener said, if this is a mega ninja, man, what a Halloween costume. What would that look like? I'm very interested.
Besides the hammer? I'm
yeah.
really not sure.
Man, that would have been, is it too soon? I don't know. But I can't even imagine what this, that apparently, so ABC is saying that it's going to be all about protecting our democracy. That's what his speech is going to be about. Protecting our democracy. 6 days away from midterm elections. This is a campaign speech for him. And that's what it is. Now, Anita Dunn, fun fact about Anita Dunn, she's with a major PR firm in Washington. She was the one who also worked the Sandra Fluke thing. Remember her? Oh, man. So she's been advising him, and she was the one who apparently selected the Union Station in D.C. as the appropriate place because of the ongoing threat of violence. She said the Capitol's to do it in the Capitol, and then apparently at Union Station. I don't know. This is just all. I'm just here for it's not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just here to watch. That's all I got to say. All right, we've got today's stupidity, Kane.
Well, I want to thank Lorraine and the YouTube moderator.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that brought this to my attention. Biden obviously has a lot of audio pieces we could use for Today in Stupidity, but this certainly qualifies. Listen to this.
Well, if anybody think if we're doing it for the first time now in the 21st century, going into the 20th, from the 20th century going into the second quarter of the 21st century, that we'd say 12 years is enough? I think 12 years is enough going into 20, 30, 40, 50?
I don't know what he's...
I don't know either. What in the world is that?
I guess you can't get your policies attacked if nobody can actually understand what you're saying.
But hey, you know what? You've had inflation higher than it's been in 40 years. So you're getting the biggest Social Security increase because inflation's so big. Like eggs are fancier now because of 38 cents more. 38 cents more. 38 times more. Sorry. 38% more. It's a long game. All right, I'll be watching that address for you tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter over at Substack. Back with you tomorrow.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Breaking news and trending talk. 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL Shreveport, a Town Square media station.
Rallying voters. I'm Carmen Roberts, Fox News. President Biden and former President Obama on the campaign trail urging Americans to pull together this midterm election.
The only way to make this economy fairer is if we, all of us together, fight for it.
Obama at a rally in Arizona Wednesday night for Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, who's in a tight race with Republican challenger Blake Masters. Earlier in D.C., President Biden urged voters to show up at the polls.
We're not often faced with questions of whether our vote will preserve democracy or put it at risk, President Biden warned.
This year we are.
Speaking near the U.S. Capitol, the president said he hopes Americans will make the future of democracy a reason to vote.
And how you vote.
Less than a week from the midterm elections, President says there are candidates running for office at every level who won't commit to accepting election results. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy with this reaction on Fox's Hannity.
I listened to the president's speech. I don't remember hearing anything about inflation, about gas, about border, about fentanyl, about crime.
One day after the Phillies crushed the Astros, Houston comes back strong in Game 4, making World Series history.
The Astros have a World Series no-hitter!
That was the call on Fox as the Astros finished off the second no-hitter in World Series history and even the Fall Classic at 2 games apiece. The only other no-hitter in World Series history was Yankee Don Larson's perfect game against the Dodgers in 1956. Eric Messersmith, Fox News.
And no winner in the Powerball jackpot Wednesday night, so Saturday's grand prize grows to a massive $1.5 billion, the third largest in U.S. history. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
An Oregon politician is accused of attempted murder.
The mayor of Rufus, Oregon, is facing charges following a Halloween shooting. Police call it a case of road rage. Dowen Jones is accused of opening fire on a family of 4 while a passenger in an SUV. The family in the other car included children just 5 and 8 years old. No one was injured, but their vehicle was hit with bullets on a rural highway north of Mount Hood. Jones is now charged with attempted murder. Tom Graham, Fox News.
Netflix rolls out its advertising-supported streaming plan.
For about $7 a month, Netflix's new ads subscription will cost about $3, less than its nearly $10 most basic plan, with ads viewers seeing up to 4 to 5 minutes of spots an hour. But reps say there are some limitations. For now, the tier will offer a limited number of the streaming service's TV shows and movies as it works on licensing restrictions with certain studios. And viewers won't be able to download content to watch later. The ad-supported plan comes after Netflix, the world's largest streaming service with over 220 million users, was hit with subscriber losses earlier this year. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
A significant snowstorm causes spinouts and shutdowns on I-80 in Truckee, California, adding to the delays. Snow chain checkpoints set up by Caltrans. Spokesman Steve Nelson tells Fox's Weather.
We have our chain checkpoint staff 24/7 out there checking. You either have to have four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive with good snow tires. And if you don't have that, you have to chain up. And if you don't have chains, you get turned around.
Caltrans warning folks driving through the Sierra Nevada during the snowstorm, be prepared with blankets, water, and a full tank of gas. I'm Carmen Roberts, and this is Fox News.
The Keel app is the best way to listen to our station. The Keel app is brought to you by Office Furniture Source. Download the app today. Listen each day to 1017 FM, 710 Keel, or on the Keel app. Keel. 1017 FM and 710 Keel. We've made the change, and people are listening.
They always have the inside story. If you want detailed interviews, Keel has it.
Tune in each weekday morning to Mike and McCarty from 6 to 9 on 1017 FM and 710 Keel. You want local news and information? You've come to the right place.
Shreveport-Bossier residents are lucky to have Mike and McCartney each morning right here on Keel.
The home of Mike and McCarty in the morning, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Don't miss Moon. Weekdays 9 till 11 on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
From the heartland of America and the gateway to the West, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation, around the world. I'm George Norrie. Welcome to Coast AM. Later tonight, a psychic medium joins us to talk about manifestation. Here's what's happening. Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest rate by 75 basis points for the fourth straight month as it struggles to bring runaway inflation under control, a move that threatens to further slow U.S. economic growth and add to financial pain for millions of households and businesses. The 0.75% hike in June, July, September, and now November underscores just how serious federal officials are about trying to tackle the inflation crisis. But is it working? Registered investment advisor Mish Shedlock with us. Mish, I don't think it's working. And I don't think you're working. Nope, no Mish. Well, he was going to tell us that the interest rates have gone up 0.75%, and they're supposed to slow down on inflation. Anyways, Russia said it would resume its participation in a deal freeing up grain imports from the war-torn Ukraine, reversing a move that world leaders had said threatened to really create more global hunger. So that's good news. Ice cream enthusiasts allergic to eggs should be aware of a new recall action from Zingerman's Creamery that concerns its gelato ice cream. Let's check in with food safety coach Jeff Nelkin. Jeff, what's this one all about?
Well, so far no illnesses have been reported, but Zingerman's has wonderful product, and in this this time of the year, there are two products that were mislabeled. They made some new changes and didn't include it on the menu, on the label. And the flavors are what they call pawpaw gelato and also the harvest pumpkin gelato. They have only mentioned that it's the eggs are made in the facility, but they mislabeled and did not put specifically eggs in this product. So people that are allergic or sensitive to eggs, they just wanted to make sure that they avoid this situation. If anybody has the product, George, I have a number that they can reach and they want to double check.
Give it out.
Okay, it's 734-929-6450. And between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., they have someone there that can answer any specific questions on product that you might have in your freezer.
And Jeff, an egg allergy, just how bad is that?
Well, it all depends on the individuals. Some people go into anaphylactic shock, which is the worst case scenario, and it could be life-threatening, or it can just be an irritation of, in the mouth, breathing, or slight allergic reaction. It depends on the individual.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Up next, we're going to be talking about geoengineering with Matthew Landman. But Tom tells me Mish is back on. Mish, we're talking about rate increases. Inflation isn't going to be under control with this, is it?
Oh my gosh, George! The FOMC conference itself was no big deal. It was the Q&A after that was really quite something. People have been expecting the Fed to taper, to pivot, and to stop hiking. But Powell put a big kibosh on that in the Q&A session. He said, quote, "It's very premature to think about or talk about pausing our rate hike. I want people to understand our commitment to getting this job done. I control these messages, and that's my job." And then someone from the media asked him, has the window for a soft landing narrowed? And Powell said, yes. It's narrowed. Is it still possible? Yes. And then she went on with a follow-up question. Why has it narrowed? Powell said, because we haven't seen inflation coming down to the extent that rates have to go higher and stay higher longer. It becomes harder to see a path for a soft landing. And he said, we would have expected to see by now the supply side problems have resolved themselves. We would have expected goods inflation to come down long by now, and we really haven't, not to the extent we hoped. The inflation picture has become more challenging. The Fed is committed, George, to keep hiking until it breaks something.
It's just not working. Mish, thank you. Up next now, Matthew Landman joins us as we talk about geoengineering and how it affects all of us. Next on Coast to Coast AM. 2,977 people were killed on 9/11. Today, people are still suffering and losing their lives to 9/11-related illnesses. But a whole generation of kids knows little to nothing about 9/11. Only Tennessee and Arizona mandate K-12 learning. That's why the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Institute is essential. It gives educators access to nonfiction 9/11 resources for grades K to 12, which includes scripted social studies lessons and activities. There's also a mobile exhibit, a high-tech 83-foot tractor trailer that transforms into a 1,100-square-foot interactive museum and 9/11 artifacts. Tunnel to Towers is also granting Russell F. Siller Memorial Scholarships, financial scholarships to the children of their program recipients who are exemplary high school students preparing for college. To never forget, we must educate future generations. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org.
Is your prostate secretly being destroyed without you knowing it? All the ads for these prostate pills, like Super Beta Prostate, Saw Palmetto, ProstaStream, Prostagenics, and others, want to know which pills work and which are garbage? Now you can. Get a free copy of the new guide, Prostate Secrets, that pulls back the curtain on the prostate pill industry. Learn what is really in these pills. Which pill has over 987 adverse event reports filed against it with the FDA? It's shocking. Learn the one food to avoid that is a prostate killer, and discover the 3 so-called health foods that destroy your prostate. Get your free copy at prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com. This free guide will show you how to end your prostate problems without drugs or surgery, 5 important things to do to protect your prostate, and much more. Warning, this guide is controversial and may be offensive to some readers as it pulls no punches. So go to prostatesecrets.com. prostatesecrets.com. That's prostatesecrets.com.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you. Through grassroots activism, films, interviews, international summits, Matt Landman has gained his recognition as a leader in geoengineering chemtrail awareness activism. He created the social change documentary Frankenskies, bringing awareness to ongoing atmospheric aerosol injections, chemtrails, weather modification programs, and geoengineering. His websites are linked up at coasttocoastam.com. Matthew, welcome back. How are you?
Hi, George. Thank you so much for having me on again. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and I hope you are too.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Great. How did this all start for you? How did you get involved in this kind of activism?
Well, I woke up to chemtrails, and nobody knew about it. Basically, I was working on a farm in Northern California, and we were in the midst of about a 5-year drought. And I knew nothing about chemtrails, geoengineering, weather engineering. I didn't know about EMF either, and I ended up making an EMF protection clothing line later down the line. But it was around 2013, and I witnessed firsthand the quelling of a big storm system. We were expected to get a 100% chance of rain for a week. And as I was out on the farm harvesting pumpkins so that they wouldn't rot out in the field, a dozen planes came and zigzagged the sky, leaving lines, and what they were doing was spraying aluminum to quell the storm so that no rain would drop. Well, the storm passed, no rain dropped, and a few months later someone mentioned the word chemtrails to me. I looked it up, and basically the rest is history. I realized that there wasn't a good enough documentary about it, and no one was holding conferences, and nobody knew about it. And when my friends and family and peers didn't even know the word chemtrails, I eventually devoted my life to it and made the movie Frankenskies. Please check it out if you haven't seen it, frankenskies.com.
Fantastic. Matthew, about 7 years ago, the United Nations formed what was called the 2030 Agenda, and its aim was, of course, to remove poverty from around the planet. But what's its hidden meaning? What's it really for?
Oh, wow. Great question. And we're dealing with that right now. So the Agenda 2030, Agenda 21, it's got a lot of different names, and it's this green mask. I like to call it watermelons. It's a nice term to describe the green on the outside, but the red communist trickery on the inside. So what the Agenda 2030 wants to do is push people out of rural America by creating these, well, there's multiple ways that they're doing it, and we've been trying to figure out how they were going to go about it. We always knew that they were going to try and figure out a way to push people out of rural America, but now we're learning that it's through these fires and wildfire risk zone mappings and the mismanagement of federal and state land. So basically they're telling people they can't live in fire-prone zones and fining people, and eventually they're going to say you can't have gas generators, and they're going to force rural, sustainable America, the Americans that defend themselves and farm and whatnot, into smart cities. That's like the ultimate agenda, so they can be controlled, and 5G, radiated transhumanism agenda, and all that sort of nonsense unraveled.
How close can they get to getting this done?
Well, that's up to us, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
It's really up to us. It's slowly unraveling and showing its true colors, all right? So then we get to react. but there's so many elephants in the room, and no one can see the true colors of the story because we're having false logic conversations and Hegelian dialectics, and everyone's being confused and tricked and pinned against one another. The colors that they're showing recently with this fire map and the extremities of the fires, and people are waking up, okay? The COVID narrative and all of these elephants in the room, people are waking up, and so we're stepping up and being able to bring the truth forward and then bring it to the children and all that. But I don't think that they can pull it off. I think that they'll try, but there's so many people that they don't know that are in the know, right? They think that they've pulled the wool over everyone's eyes with all this nonsense. But the more that the darkness shows itself, the more that people can find the light and see the light and everything, especially with this past few years. You know, so many things are in everyone's face that they have no choice but to slowly wake up. So just like most of the agendas we face, right, we've got weather engineering, geoengineering, climate change discussion, along with all these other things like the COVID narrative and everything else. There's this proverbial elephant in the room in all of these conversations, and it's being completely ignored. A great example of this are the recent floods in Pakistan, for instance. The mainstream media claims Pakistan deserves climate change reparations from the West because it's supposedly the fault of industrialized developed nations that climate change is getting so bad. But the floods are actually engineered, right? They're engineered by the West, but then the headlines don't mention anything about the fact that the floods are actually controlled. Another perfect example is cow farts. We are told cows farting are causing greenhouse effect, while the elephant in the room is the ongoing geoengineering programs, engineering heat waves, engineering drought, right? Engineering all these problems that we're not even having. They literally don't even mention geoengineering in the conversation until they say, oh, look, we've got a solution for your problem. It's geoengineering. We're going to combat this greenhouse effect with the literal problem. It's cognitive dissonance that allows the elephant in the room to exist, in my opinion.
The chemtrails specifically, what do you think they're doing?
Well, there's a lot of things going on. They have about 10 different programs ongoing, hidden in plain sight.
All separate kind of programs?
Well, they seem to all be doing similar things. They're spraying the same stuff, but some of them are engineering the weather. Some of them are spraying fire accelerants on fires. The main constituents that we found through rainwater analysis, activists speaking up, and whistleblowers, and the patents, we've come to find out that the primary constituents are aluminum, barium, and strontium. Well, aluminum oxide and barium salts are patented fire accelerants. So there's patented fire accelerants being sprayed on forests, and then forest fires are being lit with arsons on the ground or lightning strikes that are geoengineered, and then windstorms are being made on top of these fires. And what the rest of the world doesn't get, which I live in the West, those not living in the West do not realize that fires are an actual industry. Just like telecom and big pharma, fires are an industry, and they want fires to burn so that they can control that narrative and tell everyone that we need to do something about it and that climate change is the problem.
They may be the arsonists, right?
Exactly.
Crazy times. How long has this been going on, Matt?
Well, my documentary starts off in the 1920s when the U.S. military-industrial complex started to sharpen their tools and begin to manipulate the weather. So in the 1920s, but the persistent linear cirrus cloud formations, the lines in the sky that everyone sees, the chemtrails, those really started to be seen by the general public in the mid-90s. So that's basically the answer to your question. But if you watch the movie Frankenskies, please enjoy the movie. It's a great documentary, frankenskies.com. You can see that it starts in basically the 1920s when they started to sharpen their tools.
What do you say when people say, you're merely a conspiracy theorist, that's all?
Well, nowadays a conspiracy theorist, the tinfoil hat can literally be a crown of knowledge with so many things coming out and all these elephants in the room. Nobody is seeing the truth for what it is. So I take it as a compliment, literally. There's, for instance, with the 5G narrative being swept under the rug and nobody talking about the elephant in the room during the COVID pandemic, which is 5G. I'm happy to be a conspiracy theorist. With 5G potentially getting people sick and me owning and running this EMF protection clothing line, which I'm really proud of. I'm proud to be a conspiracy theorist because I'm offering protection to people with my silver clothing. So with my clothing line and accessories, Sparrow Gear, S-P-E-R-O Gear, I started this EMF protection clothing and accessories line. And I named it Sparrow, S-P-E-R-O, because it's a Latin word for hope. So Sparrow, S-P-E-R-O, gear.com. You can check it out. I made these phone bags where you put your phone in and it totally kills the signal. And I'm in a very unique position because right when everyone got locked down in March 2020, the phone bags that black out the signal for phones, no texting, no calls get through, the phone started ringing through these bags. So I had to adjust and make a 5G ready bag, and now I have a triple layer bag with copper, nickel, and silver, and it completely blocks the phone signal. You don't get any tracking, no tracing, 100% privacy. But what happened was the phone started ringing through these blackout bags because the signal was cranked up so much. So I firmly believe that people are actually getting sick from their phones, but they don't realize it. So people call me a conspiracy theorist. That's a term created to dismantle the JFK assassination, and anybody who knows the true history knows that it's really conspiracy theory means that you have access to truth and knowledge and wisdom, but they'll throw it around because they want to dismantle it, and it's used so well to distract, deter, and divide everybody. Conspiracy theorists, that term will divide everybody and get the truth flipped upside down and have people worshiping lies and attacking their neighbor because they're honing in and honoring and resonating with truth, you know.
EMF meters, should people get them just to test things?
That's a great question, George.
Thank you, Matt.
It really is, and I think that that's one of the best things that people can do to become an actual activist. So I have a website, Actual Activists, plural, actualactivists.com. I recommend anybody taking a look. There's so many resources and opportunities to learn and share information on that resource page. So please take a look, actualactivists.com, and all these websites are in the show notes. But becoming an activist starts with one day at a time, right? When I decided to become an activist, I just started taking baby steps, and every day I did something, every single day, until I've created a movie and a EMF clothing line. And right now, if you have a laptop and you're getting radiated by it, you can get one of my little blankets and put the silver blanket in between you and your lap, and you're protecting your lap, you know? Activism is a one day at a time thing. And if you get the EMF meter, which there's different types, I've got a blog about it on my Sparrow Gear website, but find a type that has a tri-field, which is XYZ. It measures the field and not just a linear EMF. But then you get to find out what kind of numbers you're dealing with. Oh, the smart meter on my home is doing something. Oh, the Wi-Fi router's this strong, but not in the other room. And then you can see this invisible radiation, right? Because it's invisible. So many people cannot grasp it because it's invisible. Then you can see the readings and start to adjust and evolve and maybe detach from your smartphone, you know.
How many smart meters are out there these days? Are they all over the place?
Well, some communities don't have them. Most communities do, and they're predatory and toxic. I recommend people finding out, like, go outside, look at your utility meter. If it's an old analog one, that's great. Try to keep it on there. If it's a digital one, then it's probably emitting a radio frequency signal every 7 seconds or something, which is toxic. And you can try to opt out, call your power company, see if you can opt out and get the old analog meter. But if you have to have a smart meter on your home, there's ways to protect yourself from it, or at least don't be sleeping in the next bedroom over, but learn about it. This is important. All these things, once you can shine the light on it, it's less predatory, and then you can learn how to protect yourself with mineralization and awareness. Awareness is key. You know, when you're living in the dark and you don't know, then ignorance is not bliss. In ignorance, you can become a victim, and then you live an unhappy life. Like, out of ignorance, you can rise to the occasion to not just empower yourself, but others, you know, and that's what we're here to do.
So many people have these strange illnesses these days, Matthew. They just don't feel right. And, you know, who's to say that it's not all these bombardments that are hitting them?
Well, that's exactly right. And sometimes people have they're lethargy, or just depression, or they can't sleep very well. There's so many different things. that people don't grasp what EMF can do and does do to your body slowly but surely. That's the thing with everybody in this silent, quiet war that we're in. We're programmed to think that, you know, the bombs drop and Superman comes and everything's over in an hour and a half. But a slow and steady kill where the minerals are depleted from our body over years because of this tech and the radiation increasing, and then we show, you know, side effects slowly but surely. We can't grasp that elephant in the room. But again, it's a massive elephant in the room, and people don't get it. So I highly recommend everyone take into consideration the amount of EMF radiation that's in your life, and then learn ways to mitigate it. I highly recommend just getting a plant-based mineral supplement. I take sea moss. It's a
sea moss, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's got bioavailable minerals. It's basically a seaweed, and it's because it's plant-based, the minerals are bioavailable. Taking minerals that are rock-based, like eating rocks, and you need plant-based, bioavailable minerals.
Hold on for a second, Matt. We're at the break. We'll come back and chat more about this. Plus, I want to get your take on GMO foods as well. Next hour, we'll take calls with Matthew Landman right here on Coast to Coast AM.
Coast Insiders, the new version of the Coast to Coast AM app, is now available for iPhone and now Android 4.0 and above. Listen live or on demand anywhere, anytime. Go to coasttocoastam.com and download it today.
When buying a car or truck? Hi, I'm Joe Arnold, CEO at Carter Credit Union. Our auto buying consultants have more than 25 years experience in the auto industry. They know how to negotiate your best price. So take advantage of this free service at Carter Credit Union. You can visit one of our knowledgeable consultants 3 ways: by phone, online at cartercu.org, or at one of our branches. Remember, before you buy your next car or truck, check with Carter.
AC.org.
Well, Jason, I've got to tell you, you're pretty much everything this company is looking for in an entry-level candidate.
Pretty?
Your resume isn't quite what we're used to, but you've got a fantastic work ethic.
Thank you.
And I'm impressed by how you carry yourself.
So, should we talk about the job?
What? The job? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have no way of recruiting or even meeting you. This interview didn't happen.
It may sound ridiculous, and that's because it kind of is. There's a huge pool of talent your company is missing out on. Meet the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Man, really confused him.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for
taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't miss Moon. Weekdays 9 to 11 on 101.7 FM and 710 Keel.
There's a kind of hush all over the world. Tonight, all over the world, you can hear the sounds of lovers in love. You know what I mean? Just the two of us and nobody else. In sight, there's nobody else, and I'm feeling good, just holding you tight. So listen very carefully, closer now, and you will see what I mean. It isn't a dream. The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear, I love you. Forever and ever. There's a kind of hush all over the world. Tonight, all over the world, you can hear the sound of lovers in love. La la.
You're listening to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Beyond Belief, that's our television program, and we invite you to watch all the episodes by going to beyondbelief.com. But if you just want to sample a few, what do we have, Tom?
That's very simple. We have 3 ad-free episodes we've put up for you at beyondbelief.com, so you can log on. You can watch those absolutely free. You can check out our 7-day trial. A lot going on that website, so check it out. It's beyondbelief.com.
And, of course, in March, we're going to Sedona, Arizona for our live stage show.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be part of a conference kind of thing. It's called Sedona Ascension Retreats event. It's a big event, March 17th through the 19th. Our show is going to be Saturday night, but what you can do is you can come Friday, and there's so much going on here. They've got speakers and vendors and booths and sky watches, and they'll take you out to the Red Rocks. Sedona's just beautiful country there. And then Saturday night we'll do our show, and we'll have guests and live microphones. You can come up and talk to everybody on stage that we have on stage. While we have a live band, we have a salute to our veterans, all our good stuff that we do in our shows. So go over to coasttocoastam.com. All that info is posted right there.
We'll take calls with Matthew Landman next hour here on Coast to Coast, but much more to talk with him about when we come back. But first, build up your immune system.
HealthyLooking.com and Dr. Alan Millay bring 4 decades of experience in natural products for the exclusive stem cell wellness kit that works with your body's stem cells to assist your immune system. Here's Dr. Millay with more.
Whether it's physical activity, obesity, diet, smoking, low on hormones, stress, sleep disorders, or your age can be supported by reducing inflammation and aiding the body to heal itself appropriately. A stem cell is a cell waiting to be told what it needs to be. If there is inflammation, that inflammation needs to be stopped. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, kidney disease, various types of cancer, depression, Alzheimer's disease, autoimmune disorders, osteoporosis, even fatty liver are are chronic signs of inflammation and can be aided by supporting the body's ability to protect those cells that it needs. And that is the purpose of ImmuStem and AdaptoStem together, supporting the body to be the best it can be.
Dr. Malay, how will I feel after taking AdaptoStem and ImmuStem?
The ImmuStem is going to have an immediate effect, but I guarantee you that your immune system is starting to function better after 24 hours. You put AdaptoStem along with it, you will feel it in 30 minutes.
Order now at healthylooking.com. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit from Dr. Malay protects your body's stem cells and will make you feel better faster. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit with AdaptoStem and ImmuStem and your free gift Relaxol is only available at healthylooking.com. Or toll free at 800-563-3980. That's 800-563-3980. Don't forget to enter promo code George for free shipping. George's Stem Cell Wellness Kit at healthylooking.com. That's healthylooking.com.
Do you sleep well? I didn't until I started using 100% drug-free Relief Factor Sleep. I know you often listen to this show until wee hours in the morning, but no matter what time your head hits the pillow, good sleep is important. I'm George Norrie here for Relief Factor Sleep. The same company that helps tens of thousands of people every month relieve their pain has designed a 100% drug-free, non-addictive sleep supplement that leaves you feeling rested and restored after a good night's sleep. I wake up ready to go without the sluggish feeling from taking other sleep aids. Try Relief Factor Sleep for the low introductory price of $19.95 for the first month. Try it out for yourself and experience the sleep our bodies are meant to get and need. Get the rest that will have you start saying, let's go, instead of, I need a nap. Start living the life you love again. I have. Go to relieffactor.com/sleep or call 1-800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's relieffactor.com/sleep or call 1-800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor Sleep. With the new season comes new savings. This autumn, cozy up to one of Casper's award-winning mattresses to help you catch your best Z's. Unprecedented times call for an unprecedented price, so we upgraded our popular Element mattress with its AirScape breathable foam, responsive comfort, and long-lasting support, all for just $9.95 for a queen. Discover the Casper difference now at Casper.com and use code NORI100 for $100 off select mattresses. Exclusions apply. See Casper.com/promo.
Smith & Wesson is committed to empowering Americans no matter what. With inflation hitting everywhere, we've decided to make a change. Now, you can buy a Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, our most popular concealed carry firearm, at an all-new low price, $100 off MSRP. We're absorbing the costs and passing along the savings to you so you don't have to compromise on personal security. Visit smithandwesson.com to find a Shield Plus near you. Smith & Wesson. Always expect the best.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie back with Matthew Landman. Matthew, you were talking about that sea algae. What does that do for you?
So it's important to get minerals. I think synthetic vitamins, you can just go throw those in the trash. You need bioavailability, plant-based minerals, plant-based supplements. So sea moss, which is like a kelp, like a seaweed, I get it online, Amazon or wherever else that that's better than that, and I get it with bladderwrack and burdock mixed in. So then with that you have 104 bioavailable minerals, and we need 104 minerals each day to function for our cells and everything to work. We don't realize that. We hardly get any, and then we strip our cells of nutrients by eating bad food, GMO food, drinking fluoride, being around EMF, getting toxic chemtrails, all this sort of stuff. We need to mineralize, and then once we're up to speed on our minerals, we won't be absorbing the toxins from the toxic environment, and we'll be such happier, healthier humans. So I advise people to focus on getting your minerals, getting up to speed on your minerals, and get the right minerals, plant-based, bioavailable ones. I recommend getting sea moss.
Matthew, do you find that most people are up on these issues, or they're not?
No, nobody knows much. People that resonate with truth, they're always learning and they're growing all the time. I wanted to tell everyone, your awesome loyal listeners who are awake and aware, for my EMF clothing line, Sparrow, S-P-E-R-O, I have a lifetime coupon code for them, Coast to Coast with the number 2, Coast to Coast promo code, to get discounts on your EMF protection clothing, because people that are listening, they are in the know, but most people, a lot of people, George, they are completely blindsided by the lies. Like, there is so much polarized thinking, and it's dualistic mind control. It's programming. People are in a problematic, dualistic programming situation where they're believing that two sides of an argument are logical and worth arguing about, but they're arguing about two lies. So it's like they can't, regardless which one they pick, they're still living a lie. So people are out there wearing 2 masks and eating really unhealthy. And if you watch anybody line up at the grocery store, they've got all this colorful stuff that would make me keel over and die, literally.
Oh, that must drive you crazy when you see that.
Well, I mean, people think that they're really green for getting their electric cars. Like, people don't grasp that what they're told is not fact-based. You know, they don't.
Have you ever gotten up to somebody in a grocery store and said, "Why are you buying that?"
No, but I'd like to ask them why they're still masking their children. That's really what I want to say, personally.
Well, a lot of people are still doing that too. Of all the things that you've covered, you've dabbled with GMOs. Are they still making a lot of genetically modified foods?
Well, what people don't understand about GMO, genetically modified organism, this big complicated word, is it's not as complex as it seems. And then people get muddied with the details, and then they're like, oh, Edward Bernays, I'm not a specialist, I'm not a doctor, trust a specialist, and they wouldn't do that to us, kind of thing.
Right.
Programming forever. What GMO means is that the plant has been genetically altered so that it can withstand being poisoned with glyphosate or some other toxic chemical that would otherwise make the plant wither away and die. People don't get that. They're like, oh, organic's too expensive. Keep eating the GMO food and you're going to live an expensive life of illness, you know? So learn about your labels. If there's a 9 on the front of the barcode, then it's organic. Focus on eating as well as you can, and then you can, resonate to higher truths and comprehend all these truths that we need. You know, we need you. We need you not on the sideline. Being the change is not a spectator sport. It is not. And we need everyone to get involved to the best they can.
How popular is activism today?
Popular is maybe not the right word. Activism has become completely and totally hijacked with Black Lives Matter and everything from every narrative out there from the war in Ukraine to Black Lives Matter to the climate change agenda to, you name it. People think that they're activists, but they're living a life of lies. So maybe the word truther or something like that. Like the word has been flipped upside down on its head. So I've got people passing me flyers about cow farts and literally demonizing me for consuming dairy, because the cows are so bad that we're all going to die. But they don't even grasp that they're living a lie and that the elephant in the room is the chemtrails over their head creating, you know what I mean? So